They say, the greatest thing on earth is the knowledge of self. Welcome to Pathology. Let's go.
The origins of Halloween can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which was celebrated in what is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and parts of France. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It was believed that on the night of October 31, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead was blurred, and the spirits of the deceased could return to Earth. Peep Game. With the spread of Christianity, November 1st was designated as All Saints' Day or All Hallows' Day to honor saints and martyrs, and the evening before became known as All Hallows' Eve, eventually evolving into Halloween. Over time, Halloween incorporated various customs and traditions, including the carving of lanterns, originally from turnips, costumes and trick, or treating, which have roots in both Celtic and later European traditions. Celtic roots and Samhain. Samhain. The ancient Celts believed that during Samhain, the end of the harvest season was a time when the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest. They would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off evil spirits. Rituals included feasting and offering food to appease the spirits of the dead. Christian adaptation. As Christianity spread through Europe, many pagan customs were incorporated into Christian practices. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory designated November 1 as a day to honor All Saints' Day. The preceding evening became All Hallows' Eve, which eventually transformed into Halloween. Medieval traditions. During the Middle Ages, Halloween took on more somber connotations, with practices such as the Dumb Supper, where food was served in silence to honor spirits. The practice of souling emerged, where poor individuals would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food, a precursor to modern-day trick, or treating, American Halloween. Colonial influences. Halloween wasn't widely celebrated in the United States until the 19th century, particularly among Irish immigrants fleeing the Great Famine. They brought their customs with them, contributing to the development of Halloween celebrations in America. Modern traditions. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Halloween began to take on a more community-oriented focus, with parades and town-wide parties replacing the more solemn traditions. The first official Halloween celebrations in the U.S. included these gatherings, as well as festive activities like fortune-telling and ghost stories. 20th century, the rise of trick or treating, revival of trick, or treating, the practice of trick, or treating became popular in the United States in the 1920s and 1930s. Middle-class families began to embrace seasonal festivities, which led to the commercialization of Halloween. Costumes became more readily available, and communities organized events for children. Commercialization and globalization. By the mid-20th century, Halloween had become a major commercial holiday in the U.S., with an industry built around it. This included costumes, decorations, and candy. Hallmark and other companies began producing Halloween cards, contributing to its popularization as a festive celebration. Today, Halloween is celebrated in various countries around the world, often blending local traditions with American influences. For example, in Mexico, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, is celebrated around the same time and honors deceased loved ones with altars and offerings. Contemporary celebrations. Today, Halloween is characterized by a variety of activities, including costume parties, haunted houses, pumpkin carving, and trick or treating. It has also become a time for playful horror and creativity, with a strong emphasis on entertainment and community engagement. Relationship between Halloween and Dia de los Muertos. Timing. Both Halloween and Dia de los Muertos occur in late October and early November. Halloween is celebrated on October 31, while Dia de los Muertos is observed primarily on November 1 and 2. This timing aligns with traditional harvest festivals and is related to the honoring of deceased ancestors. Themes of death and the supernatural. Both holidays involve themes of death and the supernatural. Halloween has its roots in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which marked the time when the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to be weakest. In contrast, Dia de los Muertos celebrates and honors deceased loved ones, embracing rather than fearing death, reflecting the belief that the dead return to celebrate with their families. Common elements: altars and offerings. While Halloween focuses on costumes and trick-or-treating, Dia de los Muertos involves building altars in homes and cemeteries to honor the deceased. These altars are adorned with photographs, mementos, and special foods, including sugar skulls and pan de muerto, bread of the dead. Visitation of graves. During Dia de los Muertos, families visit the graves of their loved ones, bringing flowers, food, and decorations to celebrate their lives. Significance of candy in both celebrations. The tradition of giving out candy during Halloween can be traced back to medieval practices of souling, in which people would go door to door asking for food in exchange for prayers. This evolved into the more festive practice of trick-or-treating in the early 20th century. Candy became the primary offering as commercial opportunities arose and candy production increased in the 20th century. The convenience and appeal of candy made it a popular choice for parents, giving treats to children on Halloween night. Dia de los Muertos candy, sugar skulls. One of the most iconic treats associated with Dia de los Muertos is the sugar skull, or calavera de azúcar, which is decorated with colorful icing and often personalized with the names of deceased loved ones. This candy serves both as a treat and way to honor the dead during the celebration. Candy in general is part of the offerings placed on altars, symbolizing the sweetness of life and the joy of remembering those who have passed away. It reflects the belief that the dead enjoy the scents and flavors of the food and treats offered to them. While Halloween and Dia de los Muertos both deal with themes of death and celebrate the lives of those who have passed, they originate from different cultural backgrounds and serve distinct purposes. Halloween has evolved into a more commercialized and playful celebration focused on costumes and trick-or-treating, while Dia de los Muertos is a deeply rooted, culturally significant occasion that honors and remembers the deceased through personal rituals and offerings. The connection through candy lies in the underlying themes of remembrance and celebration, albeit expressed in very different ways.
Welcome to Pathology. Like, comment, and subscribe.